Today we're in Naha, Japan. This is part of Okinawa, and we're going to go on a tour about World War II in Okinawa today. Should be a rather somber day, but I think that it's important that we know our history so that we don't repeat it. Let me show you what the port area looks like. We are docked today right here at the port on the starboard side. Looks like we have one gangway set up. Come out if you wanted to take a taxi or if you wanted to walk to town. Taxis are all lined up, ready to roll. The cruise terminal building is a large terminal complex, but they did not have many souvenirs inside. That could have just been our tour that had that happen, but if you're depending on getting some Japanese souvenirs, they had some made in Okinawa items, but not a lot to choose from. As you exit the cruise ship, you do go through the port terminal. Our tour buses were on the far end of the port terminal this morning, but if you were going into town on your own, you would walk all the way through the terminal. They have all these little cones set up to kind of direct your path. Go across that little parking lot. If you follow the curve of the road on that sidewalk, you can walk all the way into the town. They say it's about 30 minutes to get into the main souvenir street and all the restaurants and all, but it's only about 300 meters to a shopping center. And the way you get to that shopping center is you turn right at the intersection at the end of this cruise port. Then you go to that main intersection, cross the street, and turn left. There's a little park right there. Just a little ways up on the right is a supermarket. So that's a great way if you just need to pick up some item from a supermarket. Our first stop is at the Himeyuri Peace Museum. The landscaping at the entrance is perfect, like this tree and more. The whole area exudes peace. We can hear birds chirping and everyone is quiet and respectful as we make our way toward the monument. Visitors leave flowers out of respect and in memory of all the schoolgirls who gave their lives during the fierce battle in Okinawa during World War II. Here is the entrance to the museum. If you're coming on your own, they are open from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. You can purchase the 1,000 paper cranes as a symbol of good luck. And these are the admission fees in Japanese yen. Speaking of Japanese yen, the conversion rate at the time we visited in US dollars was approximately 145 yen to 1 US dollar. In the lobby is a large photo of the students and the first of many informational signs. This one says, Hamayuri is the nickname for our schools. There were 1,150 students aged 13 through 19 studying there. The Battle of Okinawa in 1945 wiped out the beautiful campus. The war took away the precious lives of our friends and teachers as well. As students, we were surrounded by the war, but it never felt like a reality. We never knew the terror of war, the irreplaceability of life, and the incalculable value of peace until we went through the Battle of Okinawa. We will tell our stories, our war experiences, and share them with you here today. There were no photos and videos allowed once we went inside the museum. It was a somber experience, and I recommend that everyone should tour this museum. It is a reminder that there really is no glory in war. Only heartache. Our second museum stop is at the Okinawa Prefectural Peace Memorial Museum. Before we arrived, our guide Max gave us a little information about the layout and what to expect. I love his ingenuity for the chart hanger. The grounds are free to visit. Inside the building does require an entrance ticket. I'm at the far end of the property. In the distance are the cliffs where people jumped off to commit suicide rather than surrender. The museum building itself is beautiful. The grounds are immaculate, and on those grounds are engraved names of the 200,000 plus people who died during the Battle of Okinawa, many of whom were civilians. There are several groups here today, but the site is large enough to accommodate them. The museum does not allow photos and videos inside, and I think that is a good thing. It makes people stop to read the information and take time to reflect, rather than getting in each other's way and snapping pictures to read later. The Battle of Okinawa was called a steel typhoon due to all the shelling from air and sea and bullets on land. My parents' generation lived during the time. My dad served near the end of World War II, but never was sent overseas, yet he and my mom knew several others who did. I studied this period of time in school and learned some things from stories of my parents and grandparents, but this museum visit not only helped me to remember some of the facts, but it made the Battle of Okinawa much more real to me. On our way to the last stop, we passed the bank of the Rio Chios, named after the kingdom that existed here long before anyone else conquered or controlled the area. We also passed a 7-I, which is a 7-Eleven. We're told that these 7-I stores are a convenience stop. There are public restrooms there if you happen to be coming here on your own. Our last stop on the tour is at the former Naval Headquarters bunker. This bunker was not in one of the natural caves like there are in the area. Instead, it was forged by 3,000 servicemen using pickaxes over a period of 5 months. The bunker is open for visitors at 9 a.m. with the last admission at 4:30 p.m. There are lots of stairs going down, and the walkways can be a little damp, so if you're visiting, wear good walking shoes. There are sturdy handrails along the way. Holland America listed this excursion as strenuous. I saw several rooms, including the commanding officer's room, the petty officer's room, the signal room, and more. Exiting the bunker is by ramp. It was really steep, and I was very impressed by this older gentleman who gave it his all to visit this site. I was able to find a postcard at the little gift shop here, sit down at the bench and address it, and Max was kind enough to agree to buy a postage stamp for me and mail it to me. I was also able to get a drink from one of the many Japanese vending machines here. This one had everything from cola to tea and coffee and water. On our return to the ship, we drove through the main tourist street in Naha City. It is lined on both sides with multiple souvenir shops, markets, convenience stores, and restaurants, especially steakhouses and Okinawa ice cream shops. The sidewalks are really wide and the crosswalks are well marked. There are more people driving cars than motorcycles in Japan, unlike several of the other Asian countries we have visited on our Asian cruise itinerary, and I found that there were courteous, obeying traffic rules and watching for pedestrians. This street is only a 30 to 40 minute walk from the cruise terminal or a very quick, inexpensive taxi ride. And you will need Japanese yen. We drove by the Max Value store, that's the supermarket that I mentioned earlier. I did make a quick trek to that store to pick up some requested Japanese candy for one of our grandsons. Max delighted us by playing a traditional Japanese instrument and singing a couple of songs for us on our way back to the ship.